Hey, welcome back to Goose Creek Fly Fishing. Tonight we're going to be tying another of George LeBranche's dry fly steelhead or salmon patterns. This is the Colonel Monell. And Colonel Monell was a friend of Branche who taught him the idea of dry fly fishing for salmon, which now we know is a pretty common practice. But at the time, this would have been around the 1920s, wasn't that common. Everybody was kind of using wet flies and swinging wet flies. So the idea of swinging or having these drift dry flies through the seams like you would a trout was something pretty new. So just like the pink lady we tied earlier, this is tied on a light wire salmon hook because you want it to float. This one's tied on generally on the sizes between a 4 and a 6, and a 4 and an 8, and I am tying this tonight on a 6. So I want my tail, just like any other dry fly, kind of match the shank of the hook. So we'll just put that in. I'm making it a little beefier than probably it needs to be, but so everything's going to get tied in back here. So this is a pretty straightforward tie. First thing I'm going to go ahead and put in is the rib. And this is just a piece of red uni floss. So it's a single strand floss that I'm using. So just a couple strands there. And then next we're going to use a 1 grizzly hackle. So hackle this because we're gonna I've pomaded it, and we're gonna put in hackling all the way through the shank, and then this same hackle is going to make the collar. There are no wings on these flies, so you don't have to. So you can really pop these out if you want to try them. And I have to believe this fly was developed to fish in Nova Scotia. And part of me thinks it's probably would still be super effective. Unlike the gander or one of those real prominent streams out there. So the body of this is just peacock curl. So I'm just going to move my thread up, and I'm just going to go over the top. I've got 3 strands of peacock curl here. So you just want to move up the shank of the hook with nice touching wraps. Put that peacock in. So a lot of folks I've had ask, why do I always like tying these older patterns? And I tell you, I just feel like you get a connection with the heritage of these flies. They all have a story. There's something neat about every one of them that you can learn if you want to, when you're tying them. And I think it just keeps the heritage of fly dressing alive. So it's one of the reasons I enjoy these old patterns. I will tell you, if you're tying along with me, or if you're stopping and going as I'm doing this, send me a picture of the fly when you're done. I'd love to see the work. So I took the peacock curl one direction. I'm going to hackle in the opposite direction. So on this, it's just real important. This feather is gonna want to twist on you. I shouldn't say want to. It's gonna twist on you. So just work with it. Each wrap, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain. And I'm just kind of squeezing it in there, getting that full body of the hackle. You can see how well it's twisted all up in there for me. Now I'm at the point I want it nice and straight, and I'm going to tie in. These are touching wraps, And this will be the collar of the dry fly as we move forward. And I'm going to make it a pretty hefty dry fly collar. Because I want this to be a big, bushy, darn near unsinkable pattern. So we're here, and then I'm just going to kind of come in up over the top, a couple good wraps, pull out my scissors, clip the remainder of that free. I'm just going to put in some nice collecting wraps to hold all that. Now you can see I've got some fibers around my eye. Just come with a pair of scissors. Just sever those off. Clean that eye up. Okay. Still got a few in there. Now, this is how I do these. You can certainly, if you want to do them differently. And if you do it differently, shoot me a line. I'd like to hear how you do it. But I'm going to go ahead and throw in a whip finish here to save this work. Then I'll put my line over on a fly bobbin. Now this is the rib, and I'm going to rib this fly all the way up to the eye. And this ribbing will help to support the peacock and that thin grizzly hackle. So as you do this, as you can see, I'm just working it back and forth. And as I work it back and forth, I'm doing that because I don't want to trap a lot of the fibers. And by working it, it kind of will help release them. And there we go. And that is how you can do that and not trap a lot of your fibers. So we're just going to tie off that single strand there. Come in, clip that free. Boy, my scissors are having a hard time cutting that. I may have to sharpen those up. Put in a nice little thread head there. We will whip finish, and when this is done. Get this cleaned up. Okay, so that wraps up today's fly tying tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to pick up some tips that you can use on your own bench. So until next time, I'll see you around the vise.